welcome back to our final episode of our JHD series on Help for HD TV. Of course, we'll continue having JHD shows on, but this is the last of our sprint that we've done over the last 10 days. Today, we are going to talk about end of life. We have Lissa on with us again to wrap up this series with us. Lissa lost her son Luke last year from JHD after a long battle. We are going to talk a little bit about those final days of Luke's life. Lissa, can you start by talking to us about how you were told that it was coming towards the end and how that went as far as his care team?
Okay, actually, towards the end, I'm the one that brought up the idea of hospice to Luke and asked him if he would like me to ask about hospice so that he had more one-on-one care at the care facility he was at. He thought that was a good idea.
That's awesome, Lissa. Oftentimes, hospice is brought in just a little too late because it's a hard subject, but there's a lot of things that are worrisome about it when you haven't experienced it hands-on with someone you love. What's something that you've really saw yourself benefiting from, or that Luke benefited from, or the family as a whole? What did you see as beneficial for you all with the hospice experience?
We got really lucky, even with the care facility he was in. And my mom ended up in that care facility, and that was Luke's exposure to hospice. He already knew the nurses and the nurses' aides, so he was all very comfortable with them. They were wonderful. Anything he was interested in, they'd spend time doing. They'd go outside. The hospice chaplain would watch football games with him, take him for walks, and they had some really special things arranged that we didn't have time to get done. And they are still great. They still reach out to me to make sure everything's okay. Wonderful group to work with.
That's awesome.
What are some of the things hospice did do for Luke? You talked about walks and a chaplain coming in, but were there more pain measurements and stuff brought in for Luke, or anything that was a little bit more than what the care facility was doing at the time?
We were also very lucky with our hospice and the care facility he was in, because they absolutely had no problem reaching out to his doctor. It is at the COE we used, and they had phone conferences with her and got her opinion on, what they could do best. He didn't have to have a lot of pain measures until the day he passed away. And that day they started morphine.
I had that experience too with doctors working, your neurologist working with your hospice team. That's awesome that that connection was made.
You had mentioned Luke was in a care home, and can you tell us how you came about getting to that point in Luke's care? I think you had said it was about a year long that he was there. So if you can just go over that story with us, I think it'll be very helpful to some of the moms and dads out there listening.
I'd always decided I was going to keep Luke home forever. He was not going to a care facility. But exactly 1 year to the date before he passed away, he was admitted to the hospital. He was having severe delusions, hallucinations, horrible weight loss, and he was in the hospital for 5 weeks. While he was in the hospital, I decided there was no way I could take care of him at home. He was falling all the time. I couldn't pick him up. And so for the last week he was in the hospital, we worked to try to find a care facility that would take him. We got very lucky to get one close to home that was terrific. Everybody hears all these horror stories, and we got lucky. He made friends with several of the staff. It worked out. It was a good situation for us. I know that's not normal for everybody, but for us, it was a great situation.
He was in there for about a year, and he didn't have to move once it became evident that he needed more care. He was just able to receive that care at the same home.
Yes, he was able to receive the care at that same home. At first, they did a lot of physical therapy, PT, OT, and it just wasn't making a difference anymore. So then it just went to caring for him. And the hospice that we used came to the facility to care for him there, in addition to the care he was already getting.
That's awesome. I'm glad he received such good care.
We got lucky.
It was awesome. Now Luke passed away. He passed away last year. Tell us how you have coped with grief and how you move forward.
Honestly, what is helping me the most is staying active in the HD and JHD community. I'm involved in several Facebook pages. I have several other parents who reach out to me with questions, ask advice. Helping them going through the same situation I went through is what it keeps me going.
Yeah, I see that so often on Facebook with you. I see a mom needing advice and asking advice, and you pop in there and give this support that parent needs. We're so thankful that you still do that because you've lived it. Of course, we are very lucky because we get you to work with us and we get to see you only once a year, which we don't even get to see you this year. Thank you so much, Lissa, for coming on and talking to us about Luke's story. And thank you so much for continuing to support the Huntington's and juvenile Huntington's disease community. We watch you all over social media and at live events, and it's pretty amazing the support that you're giving the people who are still walking this journey. Until the next show, make sure you guys like this video, subscribe to our channel below, and ring that bell so you get notifications for the next time a show airs.